Well, what I want to speak about with the speed camera legislation, in Chief Jim Johnson's statement on the website, it states that the speed camera legislation has one goal, and that is public safety. And if that's true, then, and this bill is not a money grab for the county or the state, I think that police officers would definitely be much more effective at policing gang activity, which has already been spoken about, predators who wish to do our children harm. I have a 2- and a 4-year-old. We actually live across the street from the Seven Oaks Elementary School. We go across the street very often, and there are people that speed on that street all the time, and there are accidents. But when you speak about speeding, policing gang activity, and predators who wish to do our children harm, I think that any parent, I know I would agree that speeding is the least of my concerns. If we're concerned about our children's safety, a police officer would definitely have more of an ability to police gang activity and predators. The situation that we just saw in California, where J.C. Dugard was taken and lived in a tent for 18 years, that would have been corrected not by a speed camera. So if we're talking about the safety of our children, those are things that we need to consider. Furthermore, 50% of the revenue should be going to a company that is outside of Maryland. Really bothers me. In the worst economic depression that this country has seen, a recession that this country has seen since the Depression, we really need to start to take care of Maryland first. So I really believe that if we are looking to send 50% of revenue out to a company that's actually based in Texas, I believe that the ACS is based in Texas, I would definitely rather see that money spent funding police officers using their time here in the state of Maryland. So good luck to you all in making this decision, but I hope that if we're, oh, the other thing that, one more thing. Someone had mentioned that if you're going 25 miles an hour and you hit a child or a person, there's a 10% chance that they would pass. If you hit them at 40 miles an hour, there's a 90% chance. With the speed cameras you're talking about, most of the locations have a 25 mile an hour speed limit. You're talking about 90% chance anyway, even with the speed cameras. So if we catch a picture of them actually hitting someone, it still hasn't saved that person's life. So speed bumps, speed calming, or police officers, in my opinion, for the #1 cause of public safety would definitely be a better option. Thanks for your time.
Do you know if this is in the state of Maryland, is it all plus the speed cameras?
Well, I know that the police officers that we employ in the state of Maryland pay taxes. Well, that's my whole point, is that if we are looking at sending 50% of our revenue someplace, shouldn't we employ people in Maryland, especially in this economy? This is not the time, I don't believe, to be taking more of our citizens' money and taking it outside of the state of Maryland.
But you would agree if someone's not going 12 miles over speed limit, we're not taking their money, correct?
I would agree that you're not taking their money.
Thank you.
But I also would agree that if safety is your #1 option, is your #1 concern, then are we just looking at speeding as the only safety concern? Or are we saying that we have several concerns in regards to our schools? And police officers are our best advantage there. Predators, gang activity. Speeding is not the only problem. Is it one that we hear a lot about? Absolutely. I can tell you at 7 courts, going up and down 7 courts, we hear accidents on a weekly basis. You know when we hear them? Late at night. Speed cameras don't operate late at night. Do we hear many of them during the day? I don't know that I've ever heard one. And I'm not saying that speeding isn't a problem, but my point is that what if you put in speed bumps there? People can't physically go 40 miles an hour over a speed bump, or most wouldn't. And it doesn't cost the citizens anything. So what is our goal? If our goal is public safety, if our goal is not actually taxing residents or getting more money out of the residents' pockets, then are speed bumps a better option? And is this the right economic time to be costing our citizens more? We've been fortunate in Maryland. Our economic situation aren't as bad as many of the other states. But I can tell you that with the federal legislation that's going through, we have several people in our communities that work for the federal government, and I just talked to one today. His job is going to end in 3 weeks. How many more people are going to be affected by the federal level government that live in the state of Maryland, and Maryland's economy is going to start to suffer because of that. So I think it's something we need to look at.
Okay. Larry?